because I'm watching it, saying it to you as I'm seeing it, but I'm only working it out as it's playing out, if you know what I mean.
You could still hear what you said and you knew kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
consciously what
yeah,
you were saying. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? With when people do past life regression, and because I've done, been loads of people with it, it can start off the way exactly how you did, Nikki, where you're going, "Oh, I'm in a bedroom. I think it must be mine." Blah blah blah, and then you're like, "Actually, I need." Then there's children play. You was like, "Oh, there's children playing," and you're like, "They're my children." It's almost like, "Oh my God, yeah, they're mine."
it's weird. It's like you suddenly know who they are, but a minute ago I didn't because I was just staring.
Yeah,
It's like you get a
I know.
feeling.
My kids
It's
and
like I know who that is, but you didn't a few minutes before. Which,
yeah, that's exactly what it's like for most people that have past life regression. They're a little bit like, oh, I can see this man, he's outside or whatever. And you're like, okay. And then they go, oh, yeah, I know that he's my husband. But some people don't say that until after they've come out of hypnosis. And then they go, I now realise that the children that I was talking about were mine. Do you know what I mean? It might take them that, or they might not tell you while they're in hypnosis that they believe that they're children. So sometimes you have to be a little bit patient with a client and just allow the process to take place and for them to kind of catch up, if you like, because they can sometimes be a little bit slow in answering you. I mean, we get that with all clients, don't we? When they're like, you ask them a question and they're a bit like, I don't really say anything, and you're a bit like, right, because me being the impatient person that I am, I'm like, well, what's going on then? So sometimes you have to be a little bit like, oh, okay, let's see what happens. Just give them time to answer and just sit
I
back.
think the gaps were good because I remember because even though it was silent, I know it was silent a couple of times, but I couldn't say anything because I was watching what was
Yeah,
happening. Because you can't say anything while you're waiting for
there's
something to
a lot
happen.
of stuff going on. Yeah, exactly that. And also, that's what as we're watching, as the audience are watching, we're all a bit like we can imagine it in our own head what's going on because we're guiding you and thinking what questions to ask, and it's all about thinking back on your feet again. Like, I'm thinking about what I'm going to ask next, and who are these children? Do you know who they are? Those sort of nice open questions. But that also can lead you then to start going, well, do you want to go and see those children? Do you want to go and play with them? But then you was like, no, I'm not allowed to. Do you know what I mean? It was like, that's what we're doing with the client is seeing, well, why can't you go and see those children? Is there a reason for that? And what is your purpose of being there? Why? Is there any reason why you've come back to this? It's just asking those questions. And some of those get answered after hypnosis and some is during hypnosis.
Mm.
But I liked
I've
it
got,
because you went into that first room and it was just a dusty town, wasn't it? And then went back
Yeah.
on. It was all a bit like, oh, okay. But then I thought, right, let's if you was doing a one-to-one, I might have let you linger there and look around a little bit more and just, took my time a bit more. But because we're on training, it's like, okay, well, let's get you out of there. And because I know you and because I know that you're a hypnotist and you know what's sort of going on, I'll be like, right, let's get you out of there. Let's move on to the next place and see what we come up with.
Mm.
And I think sometimes we need that with clients. They can sometimes go into one room and it can be like, yeah, there's not much going on. Okay, well, that's okay because you can almost not just feel, but you can see the disappointment on the client's face when they're a bit like, oh, right, is this it?
Yeah,
So
but I went to bed last night thinking about Nikki's Western thing, and I was like, really gutted we didn't get to the bottom of that. Like, she knows things I know, but do you know what I mean? It was like,
Nothing there. There wasn't even a feeling. I
yeah,
didn't even not like it or like it. It was just nothing. It was just like,
yeah. Spiritually, I was wondering if maybe you went there on behalf of someone else in your family circle or something.
be.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what crossed my mind. I mean, we don't know, but
This is the thing, isn't it? And let's just see it from a different perspective and what other people think and back to beliefs again. So
mm,
if you're thinking it could be for another reason, well,
but it did calm me down. Like, because my brain's a bit wild because of what we've done. I was able, because sometimes if I can't sleep, I do a bit of a guided meditation myself to try and get me to sleep. And I could do that better last night because I'd already been down. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd already been, and I haven't been able to do it for ages. That was quite good.
I found it really interesting because when you was doing the Western thing, the saying about what you're wearing, you was wearing like an apron, so like a waitress type maid type thing, and then you was that in your house as well.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Am I just saying? So even as I said it, I was thinking, am I saying it because that's what I saw in the last one?
I was thinking you're destined to be a maid.
I thought I was going to
Yeah.
say,
I love it as well. I love being
you're a
enslaved.
maid. And that's it. And then today's just
Oh, today, honestly, I couldn't even.
Oh.
I'm not spending the next half an hour following you about. Stop it. But what about with like Anoop yesterday? Because I did it and he went into this place that he went to and I wasn't getting anything from him. And we didn't really get anywhere.
Do you know what? Yesterday, this morning, I met with a mate and I went, how was your, past life regression course? I went, to be honest, it's probably one of the dullest ones I've ever done. It's one of those ones where not much really happened. I said, I've had ones where, like when we've had the last one I did, where we had the aliens and we have the other woman who's an owl came down and took her away and took her to all these different, it was fascinating. Wow. I mean, you have to watch it. It's with a girl called Louise. I mean, but this was all quiet. I said, and then I hypnotised Nikki. And then after that, the students went off and done their stuff. I said, and there wasn't really much that went on. Because normally we come back in the room and we're all a bit like, oh my God, this happened or that happened. And it can be quite like out there a little bit, because
we discussed that though, what happened to me last night, because it might help the others. And I'm quite happy to be open about it.
So,
yeah. Pardon?
So there's only Nikki here that didn't know what.
Oh yeah. So what happened, Nikki, was Keely done everything right, but my body decided I was not going to be hypnotized. Or my mind, I guess, decided I was not going to be. And bless her, no matter how hard she tried, I was like, "Yep, I'm not going. I'm not going." And then I got a bit agitated, didn't I, and a bit upset about it because I was. When we first went in the room, we were laughing and joking because I'd had to chase my little dog under the sofa. And I was worried that Keely was going to see my ass in the air because I was trying to get my little dog out from under the sofa. So we were laughing. And then she tried to do it. And my whole body, all of a sudden, I couldn't breathe properly. I felt really tight chested.
Also, it's pressure as well. It's pressure.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just trying to work out why.
Yeah, but I was still under pressure because I still felt I had to, That's why I felt like the Western thing didn't work because I was thinking, am I overthinking it? Am I overthinking it? And I'm in my, even as it was going on, I'm going, just stop thinking. Just look at the clear, look at the black, look at nothing, and listen to Maxine's voice. Is all I kept doing. Stop overthinking, and then it happened.
I have been hypnotized before, though, quite a few times, and I've had past life regression before. So I just don't know what sort of the blockage was. But I thought if we could work that out, it might be handy if it ever comes up for any of us with another client. Do you know what I mean? If we can work out some tools of how to get past that, not a mallet.
No, you was obviously we spoke about this, and you say you don't mind us like discussing it. You're dealing with a lot right now in life, though, and we got to the bottom of that there's a lot of fear. You can't let go. You can't be vulnerable because of what you're going through now. Yeah. And then Max tried doing the kinetic shift, which I know because you haven't done the hypnosis thing. But Nikki will be aware of that, and it taught me something. I spoke to Maxine when you went off and sorted your face out and that, but we get told like make sure you ask if we can take it from them, and you said no, and that was because you needed that for energy to push for your move and your son. So actually that taught me in that moment, make sure you ask because that could be serving you well. So yeah, so I really do think that was a learn for me. I like a learn, but also I just think it's like the fear and anxiety that you was too vulnerable to let go then, and that's okay.
Yeah, I just can't give anyone the reins in anything at the moment. I just can't.
Doesn't mean it's forever. It's only
no, definitely not. But it was a bit blindsiding for me, Nikki, because I weren't expecting it. I was like, yeah, I can't wait. Oh, 5 minutes off. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, excellent. And yeah, I kind of done everything right, and my body just went, no.
Have you ever could have seen that? And I didn't. I mean, because I know a bit about your background, and so I knew that I was like, you're gonna piss it. Do you know what I mean? I was a bit like, she's gonna be easy to hypnotise. She's gonna go into that that state, no problem. She's already done past life regression before. It's going to be easy, really easy. My only concern was to make sure that you, when you were hypnotizing other people, that you knew the process,
Yeah.
and what happens and what to expect. So, but I knew from even just talking to you on the phone way back, that you was going to be absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? It was just disappointing to not see you enjoy it as much as you could have. But like Keely said last night, it's just not just it's a course that you can come back to. You can watch any of the other videos. You can join us on the next one. And if you finish today, sorry, Anoop's messaging me. He's going to be 7 minutes. It's like if you get over today and you don't get a chance to be hypnotized, then we'll get you back in and we'll do something anyway. Like we'll get you to experience it, either with one of the other girls or with me or whatever, or on the next course. But that probably won't be till next year. Sorry, just want to check what Anoop's saying because he's messaging me again.
Then he's recorded it.
Yeah, he's saying recording.
So nothing like. No, it's not a problem.
Let's just see how we go. I mean, if in about an hour's time, I might feel more, have a diddy bit of rain. Who knows? I might go,
what we'll do is just do a simple induction and get you to go into hypnosis and come straight back out again. I know that's more. I mean, Keely did more than that yesterday, but like I've said to students before, I've had it with the connect shift. So I was saying, look, should we get rid of that feeling? And you were like, no, I'm not hanging on to this at the moment. I need it.
It's fueling me, to be fair, at the moment. Otherwise, I need all that swirly going on because it's fueling me.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I know it's not healthy. Do you know what I mean? It's like drinking 4 pints of vodka to ignite the engine. Do you know what I mean? I'm aware of that, but it's not a permanent thing. But at the moment, I do need it to fuel me, and then I can throw it out and have a clear out.
And that's what if you had agreed to that and you was my client or a one-to-one, I would have said to you, come on, we need to clear this stuff, whatever that may be. And, quite within your rights to say no, and you did, and that was good, because otherwise I think you would have, if you'd said yes and you really weren't sure about letting go of it, that wouldn't have been too good either. So it was the right decision to make, to say, no, I'm not ready. And there will be a time when you are ready, whenever that may be. And that's okay.
Yeah, and I will shift it. I mean, I've not been in this exact situation before, but I've been in situations before where I've had to, I think we all have. Do you know what I mean? Where you've got to keep yourself in a certain emotional stance or whatever sort of stance. Do you know what I mean? And I know what feeds me and keeps me going for that isn't exactly healthy for me, but because there's always a little bit of anger in it, and anger fuels me to do what I need to do, if that makes sense. And I know what emotions, I know they're not positive emotions, but I know what emotions I can take and draw into what I need, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there'll be other times, and we can always go through stuff and make sure that you're in a better frame of mind to move forward. So we don't want to push you. But what we wanted to say was, under normal circumstances, would be to release some of that stuff. But it wasn't right time.
No, it will be. It won't be forever. It will be, and it will come out. And,
yeah.
Oh, here he comes. I see him.
Hi, Anoop. Got your messages.
No.
And yes, I put the recording on pretty much from the beginning. Right, and we've just been chatting. We've just been chatting about what happened yesterday, what we got up to, yesterday wasn't that great for everyone, but we got through. We got some results. We've got some practice in, and that was the main thing. but we'd like to do some more practicing today. Anoop, have you got any questions about yesterday, what happened, and any questions about the procedure of past life regression?
Maybe when Nick was saying that she tried the way that she knew of, and then she said if you were there, maybe you could have suggested something else. But she was quite good, but maybe a couple of others. But I felt that I was not ready, same as last time. I was not ready to, when we did with Sandra. And Sandra, when I did on her, she found herself in Canada back when the girls were not allowed to wear jeans, and she was in a forest, and then and her dad was. So, and I couldn't, you know,
No, you can.
for me, that was, if we say good results, it wasn't good results, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right, and it's not like I said, it's not like good results. It's just that an experience that wasn't what you intend, what wasn't the intention. It was something else that came up for you, wasn't it? So, and that's all right, because sometimes we do have clients, and I think it's good to see that, because sometimes I do past life regression courses where they run and everyone's got some like amazing past life. So it's good for teaching, because you can see that it doesn't always run like that. It doesn't always run that smoothly, and things do come up, and it can be, you know, feel under pressure, or you know, if you're not getting the result that you want, and there's no point forcing it, because what's the point in that?
It's better to bring him out and then ask them if they want to explore further or they just want to come out.
Absolutely, and I think that's key, is to say, come out. Let's bring you out of this hypnosis. Are you okay? Take a few more deep breaths in.
Does it matter how you do that, how you get them out? Because like at the time, me and Anoop was walking along the corridor, and I'd got him back in the lift.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, does it matter where I'd have brought him out from? Just do it whatever. It doesn't matter.
No, not at all. If you could, I counted up yesterday, which is, I can't remember the last time I counted up, and said when you get to 5, you're going to come back to me nice, and open your eyes when you're ready. It's very, very rare that I would count up, but you can.
Do we not have to bring them back out the same way that they went in?
That's what I was thinking, like out of the lift or out of it, doesn't matter.
What Nick
Doesn't
did to me.
matter. Most people will, if they've gone into a lift and they've gone down in the lift and then gone along the corridor and they've found their door and they've done their experience and they come out and they close that door and then back down the corridor and they get back in the lift, and you can say when you get to the top of the lift, when the lift opens, when the lift reaches its destination, the doors will open and you will be back in the room. You will be wide awake. Yeah, by all means, that makes absolutely perfect sense, and I would go with that all the time. But if you just go like you're going, because yesterday I didn't take Nick into a lift, I just said, so you find yourself in a corridor. So in that case, as you're back in the corridor, and as you start to walk back, you're going to come back to me nice and slowly. I'm going to count to 5 or whatever I said. I'm going to bring you back in, bring you back to the present time, the here and now, and who you are today. So like leaving all of that behind, whatever went on in that life. That's all. It doesn't matter which way you do it. It's just bringing them out safely and making sure that they're, you know, if they've gone deep and they've gone, oh, in my past life, I was Sandra and I was, you know, blah, 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 blah. You're not Sandra now. Close that door, walk away, and come back to the Nikki Bones that you are today, the woman that you are today, the man that you are today, or whatever. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, you can come back with feeling calm, feeling confident, feeling positive, and just put in a few of those suggestions, and a few nice positive suggestions. Remember that you're safe and that you're okay, and that you can come back to your present life in the here and now. So all you're doing is bringing them back. You are confident. You are positive. Anything else that you want to put in, you are calm, and that life is over, finished with, done. Yeah.
One question I do have is regarding not what we did yesterday, but you know, I mentioned about this person that I met in the yoga class and she exchanged number, we exchanged number. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
did message her after our training. So I did message her and then when would be a good time to chat. And then she replied back this morning. She said we can speak today. So I did speak to her.
Oh, good.
The positive note that she had a few questions. How does it work? How much would it cost? Would I need to wait to save more money? Um, and then she's going through divorce. On one way, she said it's good, and so I'm coming out of that. Um, she didn't have anything in particular in mind to explore past life. She was saying it's not random. I think we have past life, either one or more than one. We are not randomly landing here. And then she said, um, she was asking about how much would it cost. Now, before yesterday's session, I had in my mind that I will tell her that I normally charge £175, but because you come through my yoga class, so I'll charge you £150. But when you said about 80 or 90 or 100, then I said I lowered my price a bit. Maybe I shouldn't have, but this is the first client that. So I said I normally charge £150, but because you come through the yoga class, I'll charge you £120. And she said, this is fine. Yeah, I can manage that. Now she's waiting. She's kind of, because she works and sometimes finishes late. She works in a school, and she doesn't want her husband or the daughter to be present at home when we do it. She was asking me how I do it. I said, can do online, visit you at your home. The other thing she was saying, what about, I said, do you have any like concerns, or if you want to know about yourself or anyone else why they are behaving in this way or why they're in your life? And she said, no, nothing in particular. And then she said, what about if I was a nasty person in my life, if I was a killer, if I have murdered someone?
Yeah, a lot of people feel
And
that.
I said, my experience is when we come out of that, we close that chapter, we kind of offload any negative energy. So that resolves if anything is kind of bothering you. So that will be resolved. I said, this is the experience. So is that okay? Or do I need to
Yeah,
add anything
yeah,
while we do the
yeah.
session?
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. And that's all you're doing is just saying to them what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what you're going to charge, making the venue right, whether that's online or whether that's in their home or wherever you're going to do it. Yeah, perfect.
She seemed happy and she said, yeah,
Yeah,
this is good. I can do it and I would like to do, she said.
yeah,
So I'm waiting for, she said, I need to juggle things, whether I can do during the weekend or, and she said, we'll stay in touch and then she'll let me know when we can do it.
yeah. You'll do it, Luke.
That's a good news for me. You know, anything we do first time, it's, I did my first paid class, yoga. So the person who kind of introduced me to that class. So I kept my check. I was being paid at that time by check. So I kept my check and I showed it to him. I gave him a box of chocolate. I said, this is because of your, I don't know, goodwill or hard work or whatever you did. And I've got paid for this. And I was very happy. So this was today felt the same that, you know, something that I've taken on and then it works for Maxine and it should work for me as well.
Yeah. As we say in NLP, we say if someone else is doing it, then you can too. You have the resources that you need. Um, so why not? If you have all the resources, and if you haven't got the resources, then get the resources, work it out. If it's education, then get educated. But sometimes I think it's just a matter of what I used to do is write down. So if I got a phone call from someone, I'd write it down. This is the price. So that when they said, what's the price? I'd go, that's the price. And I'd say it out loud and then be quiet. So that it's like you say that price and you stick to your guns. Do you know what I mean? It's like, this is my price. And be proud of that. It's like, this is what I charge. And I know a lot of people have that problem with that. When we've done courses over the years, it's always been people said, "Oh, I don't feel like I should be charging. I don't think I should be charging as much, or it's something that I want to help people with." Well, that's okay if you want to do that. If you want to go and work and volunteer or do not get paid for it, that's fine. But most of us have to make a living. I know I have to. So I think that's what you've got to look at is if you've got to make a living, then make a living out of it.
One thing I'm not good at, marketing myself, putting myself out there. Now, I did cover another class today,
Yeah.
and I forgot to mention I do hypnotherapy and all that. So it was a full class. After
Get
speaking to
yourself a
this lady,
t-shirt made with all the details on the back so they can't poke you for it.
Like I've got one in I. The one that I had to
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
You get a t-shirt made. I've got mine says one of the t-shirts that I've got because my son makes t-shirts. So it says trust me, I'm a hypnotist.
I read it somewhere. Was it your website or somewhere? Trust me, yeah.
Trust me, I'm a
Read it
hypnotist.
somewhere.
And I've got hypnosis, 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 and I've just got one that says hypnotherapy. And then on the back it says my website. But when I go to the pub, when we go to the pub and we do training, and I wear it then, quite often if I just go in the pub to buy drinks for people or whatever I'm doing, people will ask me. They'll go, "Oh, gone off. Can you still hear me?"
Yeah.
I can, yeah.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Anyone, I've completely lost you. Oh, there you are. You went right off. Yeah, so when I've been in the pub and they've said, "Oh, can I take your details?" I'm like, "Yeah, just take a photo of my bag." It's great. People do ask if you're wearing a t-shirt. I forget that I'm wearing it though.
What would you put there? Your phone number or?
Yeah, I've got mine. Well, my son thought it would be good to write hypnotherapist, but spelt wrong. And when I went to a hypnotherapy like convention thing up in Birmingham for a couple of days, I wore it, and the amount of hypnotists that come up to me, they're going, "The spelling is wrong." I went, "Yeah, I know it's meant to be wrong." And they're like, "Yeah, we know, but it really pisses me off. Like it really bothers me. It's written wrong." I go, "Yeah, but it's meant to look like that so that you tell me." Like that's the whole point. But yeah, they all like the t-shirts are good. They're good to wear. If you get a t-shirt, get a couple of t-shirts. Don't cost much to get them done, and then just wear it. If you've got a yoga, and you say I do yoga and whatever. I think mine's got I think it's got my website on it, my telephone number. That's it. Just keep it.
Now, color matters as well. In some things. So, any particular color or white will you reckon? Or?
Depends on what your branding is. I mean, at the moment you're quite at the low end of probably your business, but with your yoga business, you're probably a bit more established. So I guess if you've got like a branding, if your website's in green and red, let's say, then your t-shirt could be green or red. Do you see what I mean? Keep it consistent. I just got mine black because I changed my mind too quickly and I didn't have a branding at the time. So I just had black t-shirts with white writing. So, but I know like quite a few of the other hypnotists that I've worked with. I know Carl Smith used to always wear a polo shirt with UK Hypnosis Academy when he had the academy, and he'd have just that, and a hypnotist written on his sleeve. So some people will have, quite a few people used to have the polo shirts, and some just have t-shirts with the name on it, or let me hypnotize you on the front and then details on the back. But it's really up to
And stand-up roller things, can't you? I knew that might be good for your classes. They're about 60 quid though, but they're like stand up they're really high and they have all your information on.
Mine, I've got two. I think I paid, one was 90 quid, which is a really good one. I paid extra for the better quality. And then I got it and I thought, oh, that weren't worth paying the extra money for. But when I got the cheap one, which was, like you said, I think it was about 67 quid, it's not as good. Like it's harder to pull up, and all this. And when we go to the pub, I have one just outside normally. I put it out just outside the pub stable doors. And when I've done shows and stuff, I've always had them. I've done some work for the WI, and I've pulled it up then. But definitely, if I was running a yoga class, I'd have one up at the back.
Yeah.
I don't know if the management will. I don't know if the management will be happy for me to have that up in because.
So it's your class, isn't it?
Oh,
So
I think because if I
if
went
you put in anything on a wall,
I think you've got sitting ducks as well. Because if I was going into a yoga class and somebody said there was a hypnotist there, I'd be like, oh, well, go on then. What was that for? Because I love a bit of anything. So I think the retailer's dream. So I think just by people being there, they're going to be interested if you just said it.
That's exactly what I've been saying to Anoop all along. You've got a captive audience there.
Yeah.
You're all standing there. It's the same as when we do past life regression parties. If you do a past life regression party, excuse me, you've got 6 women standing there in front of you, or sitting down. They're all having a glass of wine, or they're all chatting. and you go, right, well, by the way, I also help with anxiety, stress, trauma. They might not want to discuss it in front of everyone else, or they might, which might be a nuisance, but if they might want to discuss it, but they might come up to you afterwards and say, oh, can I take one of your cards? Or just say, if you're interested in anything else that I do, take a card and get in touch with me. Or if you want to have a past life regression party, get in touch. You've got the audience there. And when I've done the past life regression with an audience at spiritual centres, I think the biggest one I did was in Grays. And there was quite a few people there. And quite a lot afterwards, because you ask at the end, has anyone got any questions? And no one says anything. No one goes, you might get one, but most people don't. And at the end, then they all sort of start filtering out, and then they're queuing up to talk to you at the end. So you're there, so you might as well chat to them. So although you might not get much money, I don't think spiritual centres, I haven't done one for such a long time, spiritual centres don't pay an awful lot. I think they pay like your expenses, and they might pay 20 quid or something like that, like nothing really. And you're there for a few hours. But you should get a job out of it. If you get a job for 120 quid or 130 quid or 50 quid or whatever, then it's worth spending a bit of your time there, isn't it? You might get a couple of clients from it, and you've gained more experience, the confidence of standing up in front of people and presenting, which takes
Spiritual centres, is it?
Spiritual centres, yeah, or anything that they've got some sort of little community thing going on, then there's no reason why you can't do it for them. But I would do parties always work well. Get one woman to have a party, one man to have a party, and just say, right, invite your friends. Even if you've just done one in your own home or your own place, and go, like, I'm just going to have 4 or 5 people that want to experience past life regression. It's 20 quid each or 30 quid each. You're there for a couple of hours. You earn a bit of money. Might earn 120 quid.
I'm still doing the hand thing, aren't I? So, miss. I was just going to say, look, I know I do my tarot readings, but I do my tarot parties as well. And I went round to some of the local pubs when I first moved here, or like some of the little cafes that were looking to open later, like little bistro places that were trying to break into the evenings. And I said to them, look, this is what I do. We could have get some people, sell some tickets for people to come here. This is how much I want per person. If you want to throw in a free drink and whatever, you work out how much that is and add a little bit more on top if you want. And then we sort of done it that way. So I was getting like £15 per person for giving everyone a little mini reading. They were throwing £5-10 on top for a free drink and maybe nibbles or something like that. And then both of us were advertising the tickets, and I done quite well out of that, to be fair. Some nights I was there for 2 hours and I pulled in 200 quid. So you know, and I was just doing little mini readings. But I'm sure with something like this, because people do also see this as quite spiritual, don't they? The past life regression and things. Maybe you could do something like that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So right there, Lisa. When it comes to past life regression, that's where we cross over from being sort of more scientific, if you like, or then we go over to kind of the spiritual side, and you get different audience for past life regression. But at the end of the day, it's like trying working with people.
You know what, I don't think I realised how interested everybody is in it, because the second I say about past life regression or hit over, they go, really? Oh, never, right. Everybody, everybody's got an issue. Everybody wants to do it all. I don't think anybody wants to pay the money.
Because it's not something, it's an experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you will get some people that go, like, I want to pay for it. But if you have the parties, because you're not parting with too much money then either. You know,
I just think I'm going to want to do it a few times and feel confident before I start.
There's always people, you know, ask people to come around. It's mates round.
I've got 4 friends already lined up for me to do it. And one of them is actually not my friend, it's her partner. He wants to have a go. Oh, I can't wait. It's Lisa. He even rang her this morning. Got her to ring me this morning to say, is your course finished? I went, no. So, no.
Yeah, so it is about really just getting the practice and knowing the troubleshooting and what people want to achieve from it. And one of the things that I got asked to do was in between lives. And that was really interesting. It was a guy that he's quite well known in the spiritual industry. His name's Clinton. I don't know if you know him, Lisa. He's from, or anyone. He's Clinton. He's from Gray's Spiritual Church. And I met him years ago. And he was interested in past life regression. And he said he does all sorts of strange things. So, excuse me. He wanted to go from one life to the other life and wanted to experience what happened in between. So we did that. And sorry, just got my tickly throat. So we did that, and that was really interesting because in his past life he was he got taken down into a basement, and these 2 men took him down there. They shot him in the head. And then he floated up out of the room, and his mum come to collect him. And it wasn't his mum in this life, but it was his mum. He knew it was his mum from that life. And they travelled together through, and he said there's 2 mountains. He said, and in between is like almost like a sheet of glass. You can't really see, but it's there. And you float down into it. And he got really cold, and then he put in this tiger's eye onto his ring, onto his hand, and that meant that he was dead. And he got very, very cold. And then before he got reborn, he's sitting in one of our bedrooms. Actually, it was years ago. He's sitting there and started screaming, and he's hanging onto my chair and going, and he's shaking, and I'm like, remember you're safe, you're okay, remember you're safe, and all the rest of it. And that was one of those moments where I was thinking, if you have a fucking heart attack, like, don't die on me, I'm just going to call an ambulance. So he carried on screaming, and I was just reassuring, you're okay, you're absolutely fine. And then he sort of went like that, and I was like, are you okay? And he went, yeah. He said, they put a crystal through my body, and that meant that I was a healer and that I will always heal people. Okay, good to know. He then went on and done other stuff, but I done past life regression with him twice. But the first time, when we did all the going through the mountains and all sorts of stuff, I mean, there was loads to it. I wrote it all down. But the second time I videoed it, he came round and he videoed it. And he was an Aborigine, which was really strange. but it's all on video. It's on YouTube. So, yeah, you never know what you're going to get. But I've never. That's the only time I've done in between lives. I've taken him out. He's come out of that, and I've go through to the light, and his mum collected him, and they went off.
But that's because that is what happened. That isn't, you couldn't make somebody do that. That's just what happened to him.
That's what happened. Yeah, that was his experience. But he knew that's what he wanted to do. But he needed someone to guide him. Because he doesn't.
How did you do that then? How did you just guide him from leaving that, like get him to? Because sorry, I'll try and speak English. Because when we done Nikki yesterday, we couldn't say to her, "Oh, in this life, go to the age of like 50," because she said she was quite young and she was seeing her children. So how did you get him to the point of death and then not get him to automatically go to the next life? How did you? He done it. Okay.
Clinton is very, very spiritual. He does astro traveling. So
Astral projection traveling. Okay.
Yeah. He travels to different countries, and he travels to different places without his body. Timelines a lot.
Cool. I want to meet him now.
Totally, like, you're not going to get your average client. Do you know what I mean? So after talking to him, and he was like, I can do it myself. He said, but I need someone to guide me. So we just took him back to a past life. And then when he got into his past life, it was at the point where these two men were going to take him. And he went, I know what they're going to do. He said, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get shot. And they took him down the stairs. And he went, I don't want to go. I don't want to get shot, but I know I need to. It's my journey. And he got shot. It was.
You mentioning that, can we do past life regression ourselves?
There's no reason why you can't, because all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So, but I think there's that fine line of, do you fall to sleep if you're not being guided? Do you know what I mean? When someone's guiding you, you're keeping them awake, aren't you? You're keeping them at that level of consciousness. They know where they go. Like, you're talking to them and they're talking back to you. Whereas if you're just on your own, then you could easily just slip into that sleep and then think, was I asleep? And then kind of wake up. Depending on how easily you fall asleep. If that was me, I'd be asleep before I'd even.
Yeah, I think I would be as well.
Like, my head hits the pillow and I'm asleep.
Imagine you wake up in the morning and you go, and I'm back in the room.
I've been hypnotised all night.
I just had this thought just popped into my head. Don't think you're saying there's any reason you can or can't. But have you ever hypnotised or done anything with people that are ill, that have got cancer or anything? Does it matter?
In what respect?
If they've got cancer, are they going to have treatment?
Yes.
You can still do it on them.
Yeah, I've had a woman here who's terminally ill.
I wondered if there was a reason why you wouldn't, or you don't like do anything to them.
No, she came here. She's dead now. She came here. She wanted some peace, really, because she knew she was going to die and leave her 4 children. They were all very young.
She old? They were young.
Yeah. Can't remember how old she was. Only in her 40s. She had 3 children. I think the eldest was 18. 4 children.
And for what reason, sorry, she wanted to be in peace?
She felt a bit.
If I remember correctly, you said hypnosis wouldn't work on a few things, bipolar and cancer and things like that.
Schizophrenic, bipolar, senile, personality disorder.
Did you say denial?
Senile. So if they're senile.
Oh, senile. Didn't hear the first bit.
Senile. But not if they've got cancer. No, cancer treatment. I've seen quite a few people with cancer. I've hypnotised one that had terminal cancer. I hypnotised her because she had a lot of anger and a lot of things that she wanted to let go of, and to know that, because obviously there's no control, is there? It's like out of her control. So a lot of sort of relaxing the body and letting go. so that it made her feel a bit more not so uptight. It really is not really nice, not very nice treatment to give. Imagine.
That would serve them in a positive way if they can calm down and if they can go easily. This helps them with their next life as well.
Yeah, if that's what you believe. So that's what we do, is just if they can be a bit more relaxed and a lot more calmer and accept what's happening, that's, you know, letting go of some of that anxiety. Gary Coles deals with oncology while we're talking about cancer. I put one of his videos in the group chat. He deals with cancer patients all the time. That's his speciality, his niche. So yeah, we can work with cancer patients, and I've worked with a woman who had brain surgery, but while she was awake, and I hypnotised her so that she could be absolutely fine during surgery, and was talking to the surgeon while he was performing brain surgery on her, taking a tumour from her brain.
And you were there present with her, and then
I hypnotised her beforehand. I hypnotised her to be relaxed and calm, and I hypnotised her to saying that she would be talking to the surgeon, you know, as if she was having a cup of tea with him and just chatting.
Why was she awake?
Because they couldn't put her out while they were operating on her, so she just had a local anaesthetic, and that's it. The rest they have to be awake for it. So there's no escape. But she said, like, you can. I think so. She could have headphones in or something like that. And I said to her, like, you can. I think I might have done a short recording for her actually. It's like, you're going to be okay, you're safe, and all that sort of thing. And then she was chatting to him. But her surgeon took my number because he went, I've never had anyone so calm. You were just calm. But we do it for like hypnobirthing, like, you know, we obviously have hypnobirthing. But going completely off on a tangent here.
Just one thing, sorry, you said about those illnesses that it's best not to hypnotise people, like don't hypnotise people with that list, or best not to.
No.
Don't do it. Okay, don't do it.
Narcolepsy.
Epilepsy as well.
Epilepsy, I've hypnotised people with epilepsy, and there are hypnotists that specialise in working with people with epilepsy. I've done it with 2 or 3 people, but that's only because I've asked them to have a chaperone. I've asked them, they've got to have someone with them that knows, that's a witness, it's more of anything, that if they should have an attack, if they should have a fit, that there's someone there that makes sure that they're safe, and if it should come to it, you know, if you should need an ambulance, then there's someone there that knows what to do.
Any medications that we should avoid?
Sorry?
Any medications?
No.
No? All good.
No, there's nothing that, because yeah, a lot of people will be on like sertraline or antidepressants, anything like that. That's absolutely fine. But no.
Okay. I struggle with codidromol and those sort of painkillers when I'm tarot reading. If I can't connect to them, 9 times out of 10 I say, have you had codidromol or something like that today? And they go, yeah, how do you know? And I go, because
I can't.
I can't get to you. Yeah.
No, we don't have that problem. So no. That's
okay, cool. Don't have to write that down then. Fab.
Any other questions before we crack on?
Why is Nikki a cowgirl? I want to know.
Nothing going on.
It's like the duffs on his tenders. Do you know what I mean? He's like, why is she there?
So we're gonna put you back into breakout rooms.
Not going to touch anything this time.
You're gonna what?
I'm not going to touch anything.
Okay. So we're going to do some hypnosis. Lisa, you don't want to be hypnotized, do you?
If Keely's happy to try again, can we try again? Can I try again with Keely if that's okay?
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Anoop to do something with.
And if she's happy, she hasn't nodded or anything. Oh, you're okay, good.
Yeah, let's put you into rooms. Go back to what we did yesterday. So your pre-talk, your induction, your deepener, taking them your method of your choice to get them into the room or back into their past life. You may want to consider taking them from this life along their timeline and drop in, try maybe that way, drop them into a timeline that they want to go into. Yeah. See what comes up. Push the boundaries.
Wait, how do we do? What do you mean by timeline game?
So what do I mean by?
So how do we do, like, if you say doing in timeline?
Yeah, so if you say to your client, actually I teach this actually in another class for psychedelics. If you think about your timeline, if you think about where's yesterday, if you're thinking about your timeline, yeah, oh, so right, Lisa's is like here or there or whatever. Mine's always yesterday was there, right? And tomorrow is there. Next week is there. And the week after that. And next year is around the corner. Okay, that's for me. But when I think back, I look back that way. I'm thinking yesterday was there, literally behind me. And then it goes back further and further and further, all the way back to when I was a baby and way, way back into the womb, whatever. So if you imagine your timeline, where you're at now, and then I want you to imagine like the milestones maybe when you was a teenager or when you was 5 or whatever, and then going all the way back to when you were in the womb, and then beyond, and then just keep floating back further and further and further, or if it's to the side, because some people say that's yesterday and that's tomorrow, or that's yesterday and that's tomorrow, or whatever way you want to look at it. Go back and float up out of your body the way you are today and float all the way back to where a time where you want to drop down into that era, wherever that may be. It's quite a nice
Do we ask them where's your yesterday and where's your tomorrow?
Ask them before they go into hypnosis, where's your tomorrow, where's yesterday, where's last week. Some will go diagonal. They'll go, oh, that's tomorrow and that's yesterday. And others will be, it's that way, that's yesterday, this is tomorrow. Where's your timeline? So
some might point, mightn't they? Like follow it in a line and then go like that. So yeah, and others will walk it, I guess.
Something like, why would we want to know what direction?
So that when you're saying to them, so say for example, they're going to you, well, it's behind me, you're going to go float up and go behind and go all the way back, or to the side of you and go all the way out, go all the way back. Just got to know where they're going. It just gives you an indication. It gives them an indication of where they're going as well, because they can start going, oh yeah, I want to go back. I want to go back that way. I don't want to go that way because that's more forward, but I want to go off to the side. Just say, where's your timeline? So if they can understand what a timeline is, do you see what I mean? So you're saying to them, where's your timeline? Is it in front of you? Is it behind you? Is it the side of you? Diagonal? Where would you say yesterday was? Oh, it's back here. Okay. Well, I want you to go that direction. I want to take you into hypnosis. You're going to go that direction, back, all the way back, back over the years. Imagine floating up out of your body, floating all the way back through your timeline, back beyond birth, and way back, and then just stop when you feel it's right for you, and float down, find where you are. It's your imagination. Use it. See, I love that. I love that kind of like, well, let's just play. I know that Keely's like some people are like, yeah, but I need to know. It needs to be. Whereas I'm a bit like, well, that's all right. If that doesn't work, I'll change direction and do something else. go all the way back, and then if I don't think they're getting it, I'll be like, okay, and then suddenly you see a corridor in front of you. Go through that corridor. I need to get a drink. So does that make sense? So don't overcomplicate it.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I love doing that. It's my favourite.
Exactly. Just go, right, I'm going to take. You could really go, I'm going to count to 10, and when I get to 10, you're going to be in your past life. You're going all the way back. You're going, 1, you're going back to a past life. 2, you're going to feel safe as you go back. 3, you're going further back, all over the years before you were born. 4, 5, 6, you're going deeper and deeper. You're going further and further. 8, 9, 10, you've arrived. You open your eyes, but they don't open their eyes. You look around you. What can you see?
Back to the customer writes the script.
Exactly.
That's what you should have written on the T-shirt. Customer writes the script. It knows it. Yeah, maybe.
There is a group that I belong to, quite a few different groups actually, and some of the men on there are vile. They're always like, burn the scripts, burn the scripts. If you're working with scripts, go and get retrained. That's how brutal they are.
Wow.
Because it's true, you should be listening to your client, and at this stage, you might want to read the script through and know what a bit of guidance is great. That's brilliant. Use the script for that. But there should be a point where you don't need a script, where you listen to your client and you go, actually, I think this way would be good, or that way would be good for them. Like we said earlier, if someone didn't like getting into elevators or lifts or whatever you want to call it, then there's no point saying to them, you're going to go into this elevator, and they go, well, I've got fear of elevators.
Could it be prudent to maybe, before you actually book the client in for the past life regression, you could say to them, I don't know, £5 or £10, and we have a 20-minute consultation. Do you know what I mean? So you can make notes on that person, so you can then find out what they want to get.
I would do that in the actual part of the session.
Oh, okay.
I would say to them, go through who they are, why are they here, what do they want to achieve, what do they want to really get out of this experience, what is the purpose of going back to the past life regression? Is it just for fun, or just because they're interested, or is it because they think that they've got something wrong with them? Most people will give up that information naturally anyway. Go, I want to go back to my past life to find out if I've got this illness from a past life, or whether I was a man in my previous life, I feel like I should have been a man, or whatever. So you establish that, and then it's a bit like, okay, well, why is that important to you? Why is it important that you know whether you were a man or not, or whether you had this illness or not, or whatever happened?
It's just a bit different for me to ask all those questions, because obviously with my work, they sit down and they go, right, so what we're going to do, and I go, shut up, you're not allowed to speak. You don't speak until I've finished my reading. Just shut up. I said, otherwise you're ruining it. So yeah,
out of your comfort zone, isn't it? Because you're going, instead of going, don't talk to me, you're now going to go, well, tell me why are you here? What do you want to achieve from this? So it is totally different.
Yeah, it's a full 180, full flip.
Yeah, it's totally turns it on its head. So yeah, that's what we want to be doing, is just chatting to them, and also you're putting them at ease. And while they're sitting there chatting and they're saying, well, I want to go back because I believe that I was in World War II and I was this and I was that and blah, 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 blah. They're already preparing themselves for going back, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? They're already preparing themselves. Going, well, I want to go back and I want to find out if I was, the Queen of Sheba or whatever. Because I have this strong belief that I was the Queen of Sheba in a past life, so therefore I want to find out if I really was, so I can just tell everyone.
Know it.
So, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, joking aside, it's finding out why, what are their whys? Why do you want to experience this? Is there any particular reason? If I've got an audience in front of me, it's slightly different because you don't want to do too much. You don't want to delve too much into their personal. So I might just say to them, is there a reason why you want to go back? And I might just go, no, I just want to find out who I was, and that's it. It's just a bit of fun. It tends to be a bit more fun. But if they're coming for a one-to-one, that tends to be a little bit more serious because they tend to come for something that they want to find out why, or why are they ill, or why have they got this issue with their love life, or whatever it is. So, but if you're doing it in front, like I said, if you're doing an audience, or you've got friends round and you're what I'd call you're playing, then that's never too serious. That's when the serious stuff happens. But if you're not too worried, they're just going, I just want to experience it, and it's for 25 quid, pay the 25 quid, have a cup of tea or a glass of wine or whatever, and it's entertaining. Yeah. So before we start, we'll have a quick break. So it's now 6 minutes past. So if we come back at say 20 past, just give you a bit of time just to have a quick drink so you're ready. Read through your notes if you need to read through your notes. Think about what you want to do, how you're going to do it, and then we'll come back. Then I'll put you into pairs back with Anoop and Nikki, Healy and Lisa, and I'll be dropping in.
Are we doing each other, or is Keith?
Yeah, get on. I mean, we do just go one way, but if things aren't working out, then flip it around. You should have time to do at least one way.
Okay.
That's what I'm aiming for, just one way, not both. But if in your case, if nothing's really happening, then we'll change.
Okay.
And you might be finished early, and you might be running late, but I'll be popping in to find out. So we'll come back at 20 past 7, and then we'll crack on. And if you just put the things on mute, and I will pause, and I know that Anoop will be my man. Tell me not to put the recording on.